Guys, we're going to talk about what you should not do on semen retention. I had a subscriber. He wanted me to talk about what should he do on semen retention. So guys, basically on semen retention, this is the most important thing that you should not do on semen retention. Guys, you should not get on semen retention for the women attraction. When you get on semen retention for the women attraction, you're just going to end up relapsing. You're going to just end up relapsing. And you're going to be back to square one. You're going to be back to square one. I know a lot of you guys, you got on semen retention because you watched the women attraction video. That was your first video that a lot of you guys watched. A women attraction video. I already know this. So you guys got on semen retention. And I'm not saying all of you guys, but a lot of guys, because that's what's getting the most views, the women attraction. So I noticed a lot of you guys, y'all got on it because of the women attraction. Guys, when you get on semen retention for the women attraction, you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow. You're doing semen retention for the wrong reason. You're not doing it for you. See, you're supposed to get on semen retention for you, not for the women attraction. But unfortunately, a lot of you guys, y'all all about women. Y'all still got women in y'all mindset, in y'all psyche. Y'all think everything is about women. And everything is not about women. This is why a lot of you guys are unhappy about your financial situation. This is why a lot of you guys are unhappy mentally. This is why a lot of you guys are unhappy spiritually because of women. Because you want to have sex. You want to have an orgasm. But that's what defeats the purpose of semen retention. Semen retention is it's about you holding in your sexual energy. You holding in that seed, not you releasing it to women unnecessarily. But this is what happened with a lot of you guys. When you start watching the women attraction videos and you're like, oh, okay, so I'm going to attract women in my life. So I'm going to attract all these women in my life and I'm going to be finally smashing more girls than I was when I was chasing women. See, this is what a lot of you guys think. I already know. This is how a lot of you guys think. When it came down to semen retention. You watch that women attraction video and you're like, you know what? Since these guys are attracting women, I'm tired of chasing women. I want to attract women so, I could just dog women out and smash even more women than what I was, doing when I was chasing women. This is how a lot of you guys' mindset is about semen retention when it comes down to the women attraction. Y'all thought that, okay, so if I get on semen retention, I will smash more women by attracting women than I will do chasing them. This is what a lot of you guys thought. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Because you're only going to attract the women that was already attracted to you. They're just going to be more attracted to you once you retain your sexual energy because it's going to give you that good energy inside. And plus, too, your energy is going to be felt even more. So those women that was already attracted to you when you was not on semen retention, now they're more attracted to you since you're on semen retention. But that's supposed to be motivation. You're supposed to use that as motivation to continue to retain your energy. But a lot of you guys, y'all only doing it for the women attraction. So you end up relapsing. And you're going to end up still miserable. Still having a void in your life. This is the truth, guys. You're going to still end up miserable and still having a void in your life. You're not going to be where you want to be at financially. You're not going to be where you want to be at spiritually, mentally. You're not going to be where you want to be at. So the women attraction, it should be motivation to continue to keep retaining. And by you attracting women, it should make you feel more masculine and want to feel like, you know what? I'm going to retain even more. Because the women attraction is nothing but a test. It's a test. Just to see if you're going to, if you're going to stay in masculine frame and not get emotional when it comes down to the women attraction and whole frame. That's what the women attraction is all about. You holding frame and you keeping that discipline to keep retaining. So you can level up. So you can feel more energy. So you can start doing more. So you can start investing into yourself. So you can start loving yourself. so your self-esteem can go up. That's what it's about, guys. Excuse me. But that's the truth. Now, another thing that you should not do on semen retention is get on semen retention and just be on it. No purpose. You don't have nothing to do. You're just getting on semen retention with nothing to do. Guys, an idle mind is the Jezebel spirit, playground. That Jezebel, that's her playground, the idle mind. A woman that, if you get on semen retention, just to get on semen retention and not have a purpose or not have goals, and you sitting around on it, you can easily get distracted, easily end up relapsing, because you could just be in the store, picking up some stuff in the store, and you see a woman that got a nice shape, nice butt and all that, and then you start, since you ain't got nothing to do after you leave that store, you get back home, sitting in your room, you start thinking about, that woman that you seen at the store, and you start picturing you having sex with that woman in your head. Now, you finna relapse. Now you finna have an orgasm. Now you finna, go watch some videos that you're not supposed to be watching and then have that orgasm. And then guess what happens? You back to square one. It's defeating the purpose. Don't get on semen retention without no goals. Do not get on semen retention without no goals. It's not going to work out for you. That's just like you downloading crypto or downloading Uphold, the app, and you don't have no money to invest. It's just sitting there. It's just only going to just, it's only going to just, when it comes down to your memory on your phone, it's only just going to take up space, take up memory on your phone. It's not going to work for you because you don't have no money to invest. That's the same thing with semen retention. It's not going to work for you if you don't have nothing to invest in. And that's yourself. If you don't have no purpose, if you don't have your goals, it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you at all. So it's no point of getting on semen retention without no goals. It doesn't make sense. You're going to end up relapsing a lot. And plus, especially when you get those sexual urges, that's when you're really supposed to be, getting up, getting on your purpose. Because that's when your energy is at its peak. That's when you're supposed to be moving around, getting things done. When you feel that horniness, you're supposed to be getting up, putting in some work. With that business or with that gym membership or school work or studying, you're supposed to be putting in some work, man. Because that's when your energy is pretty much at its peak. Your testosterone is very, very high at that point. So guys, man, that's the don't on semen retention. These are the two don'ts. Do not get on semen retention for the women attraction. Don't get on semen retention because you just want to get on it with no purpose, no goals. It's not going to work out for you. There's no point of doing semen retention with no goals. Guys, sitting around. And a lot of you guys are doing this. You don't have no goals and you on semen retention. Trust me, bro. You're going to relapse. Because what's going to happen too is you're going to just end up being on semen retention, trying to feel the energy, trying to feel the focus and the benefits. And when you start feeling those benefits and stuff like that, and you start counting your days, because that's what happens. You're going to just start counting your days. You're going to just start counting your days because you ain't got no purpose. And eventually you're going to just relapse. Don't count your days on semen retention either. That's another don't. Don't count your days. I'm telling you, just make it a lifestyle. Stop worrying about how many days you are on. You're going to end up relapsing. I used to do that back in, 2 years ago, bro. I used to count my days. You can watch some of my old videos. Day this, day that. I used to count my days and I used to end up relapsing. I used to count my days. Because I also focus on counting days. And I really had an idle mind. I had nothing to do. And I ended up relapsing. So when you sit around just counting your days, you're going to end up relapsing. You're going to just end up relapsing because you don't have no goals. You don't have nothing to do. You're supposed to get busy on semen retention. Get busy. I'm telling you, This is why semen retention is a great spiritual practice for guys that have purpose, that have goals. Because as soon as you get on semen retention and you feel the energy, you're going to be working more harder on your goals. You're going to put more time into it. When you feel the focus, you're going to be putting more time into it. You're going to have more discipline. I'm telling you, you're going to put more time into it. That's what's going to cause you to level up. That's what's going to cause you to better yourself. And two, you're going to start taking more risks. You're going to start getting into different stuff. Start learning from different guys. See, I used to feel like I used to be a know-it-all. When I was in my ego and I was not on semen retention, I didn't want to listen to other guys talk that knew more than me. Because I thought, I felt some type of way about that. Like, how I didn't know this. But once I got on semen retention and I started to humble down and I started to realize, like, I need to learn about financial literacy. I need to learn about what to do with my finances. So I started listening to other guys. And I'm slowly figuring out what I need to do with my money once I get some money. Some real money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I ain't got no money, but you know what I mean by that. Some real money. Then I'm going to start investing. And I'm going to start, helping you guys out with that on this channel. But guys, I'm telling you, man, do not count your days. That's an excuse for not having nothing to do. That's just another excuse for not having nothing to do, not having no goals, not having nothing going on in your life. Do not get on semen retention with nothing going on in your life that's bettering you, that's benefiting you. Trying to tell you, you're going to end up relapsing. It's going to be a trap. You're going to end up relapsing, man. This is the truth. So these are the don'ts. These are the don'ts, man. These are the 3 don'ts that you don't want to do on semen retention, guys. Do not get on semen retention to count your days. Do not get on semen retention just to get on it with no goals. Do not get on semen retention for the woman attraction. Definitely not for the woman attraction. A lot of guys are, like I said, a lot of guys, they see my old woman attraction videos and now all of a sudden they want to get on it. Because my energy, I was, excited and stuff like that. Excuse me, when I was making those videos. But at the same time, that women attraction stuff, it was just motivating me to keep discipline and stay on semen retention. Semen retention is supposed to like level you up, have more energy. Everything is energy, guys. I'm trying to get you guys to get your energy up so you can put more time into your purpose. So you can work extra hours, longer hours at your purpose or at your job. Work overtime when it comes down to your purpose. Work overtime. You're not going to feel tired like that when you get on semen. You're not going to feel tired. You're not. I'm telling you guys, your energy is going to be up. Your focus is going to be there. Your manifestation is going to be there. Everything is going to be there if you have the right intentions and the right motives towards semen retention. Semen retention is for guys that have purpose, not for guys that have sexual needs. Not for guys that don't have purpose. Not for guys that just want to sit around and count their days. That's not what semen retention is for. That's not what it's for. It's about purpose, man. It's about, you know what, man? I'm tired of being tired of, not making more money. I'm tired of, my financial situation. Guys that's fed up. Guys that want to do better. This is your chance, man. Get on semen retention. This is your chance to do better. By getting on semen retention. This is a big investment for men that want to better their life. Is getting on semen retention. It's a good investment, man. And guess what? You don't have to put a down payment down on this investment. You don't have to put no money down on this investment. All you have to do is retain your sexual energy. Harness it. And it's for guys that want to find purpose. It's going to heal the brain so your brain can be more clear so you can get that brain fog out. Once the brain fog get out, then you can really think clear psychologically to find your purpose and to walk in your purpose and to, the sky going to be the limit when it comes down to your purpose on semen retention. That's all I can tell you.